Hayes Entertainment exclusive.
This is I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. We are going live.
Big Mike and Hayes Entertainment here. Today's episode, we got Taylor Gauthier, Prince George Cougar, NHL 2020 draft prospect, and just got named to the 2020 World Juniors. We're going to run that again. Boom. Okay, do it again. Big Mike and Hayes Entertainment here. Today we got Taylor Gauthier on, Prince George Cougar goalie, 2020 draft prospect, 2020 World Junior draft invite. We're going live right now. It's Hayes and T. Corrupt that shit. Let's go. Woo! Good, yourself?
Not too bad.
Thank you very much.
If anyone knows a good prospect, it's Vancouver's Mini Don Cherry. Let's go crazy. He only touches greatness.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you, kid. We just want to ask you a bunch of questions about your hockey career, obviously. What's your nickname?
It's Goat. So.
Okay, beauty. It has nothing to do with your last name?
Yeah, it has a lot to do with my last name.
Why number 35?
I don't know. I like how it looks. On the back of the jersey, it looks really filled out, and I think it just looks really clean, and it's just a pretty standard goalie number.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Who's the biggest influences in your career?
I wouldn't say. I don't really know if I have a lot of influences. I know growing up I watched Justin Pogge a lot when he played for the Hitmen. I always watched him, and that's kind of who kind of inspired me to be a goalie. But after that, I didn't really have many influences other than my parents, really.
We actually just had Pogge on last week with us, and he's such a beauty. We actually had him on with Clint Malarchuk, and the stories they told were unbelievable. And I remember Pogge winning the World Juniors, and that was one of the best goalie performances I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's kind of when it all started for me. Just going to the Saddle Dome with my uncle and aunt, and watched them all.
Is that kind of the same reason you became a goalie?
Yeah. I just one thing that always stuck in my mind was on the Jumbotron. All the cool saves that they were making. It just that was the one thing that really stuck with me right from a young age.
Right on. NHL scout or GM was to ask, what does Taylor bring to the table? What do you got?
I think I bring a strong work ethic every day. I think that's something I've really focused on lately in the past year or so. Just to go out and give it my 100% every time I step on the ice. I think I'm a really team-based guy. At the end of the day, all I really care about is winning games. So it doesn't matter if I let in 1 goal or 8, as long as we get the 2 points. That's all I really care about.
Any pregame meals or pregame rituals?
Nothing too crazy, really. I don't like to kind of put stuff in my mind that I have to do something before a game for me to play well. I just kind of do my normal warm up, my stretching, but I don't have any superstitions or anything that I have to do before every game.
You have a favorite sports hero?
I'd say I'd probably have to go with Carey Price. That's one of the guys I've always been interested in watching.
Good Canadian kid.
Yeah. Growing up watching Montreal and that was my favorite team as well. So watching him kind of grow into being an elite goalie, that was really fun to watch. And I personally think he's the best goalie in the world to this day.
I still think so as well. He's definitely an elite goalie, that's for sure. What was the feeling being drafted 10th overall to Prince George? And where were you?
I was actually upstairs in my living room. I was watching the live stream of the draft with my parents, my sister, and then one of our family friends. Their whole family came over, and we were watching it together. My parents let me stay home from school in the morning, so I could I could watch that, and it was really cool just hearing my name that early in the draft. You know, goalies don't usually go that high, so for me to get drafted where I was obviously extremely happy, and to go to Prince George, I didn't really know what to expect at that point, but looking back on it, I'm very happy that they took a chance on me.
What's your favorite type of music, or do you have a pump up song?
I'm a really big country guy.
That a boy. I can tell from the thing hanging on your wall there.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah. So
that's
kind of, I don't know. I don't really listen to too much to get me pumped up. I like the classic rock along with the country. That's kind of what I listen to before games.
Yeah, country music's my go-to as well. I love country music. I can
Yeah.
I can play that all day long.
What's the best
Yeah.
part about being on of a team sport?
I think just the friendships you get to build. That's where the majority of my friends have come from. And they're more than friends at this point. They're all
Brothers.
end up being brothers by the end of whenever everything's said and done. So I think that's kind of my favorite part of playing hockey and being in that team environment all the time.
What's it like putting on the Maple Leaf? I mean, you represented Canada at the U17s, the U18s, and now you just got named to the World Juniors. What's that like?
It's really, you can't really even put it into words how much of an honor it is to be named to those tournaments. You know, going to the Holinka and playing on home soil, and then winning it was, to this day, probably the best day of my life. It's an honor anytime you get to put on that jersey, and you know, if everything goes well, I hope to be wearing that Maple Leaf again this winter. And you know, that was kind of my dream and goal growing up. I never really thought it would ever come true, but that's kind of where my goal is right now.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'm hoping that we get some hockey action back. So the World Junior Tournament is one of my favorites. So
yeah, that's kind of just a Canadian thing.
it definitely is. Bunch of good Canadian kids. Do you have a favorite movie about sports?
I don't really know about sports. I don't. I'm really into kind of.
What's your favorite movie then?
Favorite movie is probably Step Brothers.
Oh, okay, good one. Good comedy.
Yeah, I pretty
That's
much
good
know.
that's good for a ton of laughs.
Yeah, I know pretty much the whole script. I'm pretty sure I know.
Yeah, I mean, you won the 2018-2019 Helenka Gretzky gold medal, and I mean, that team, you guys were stacked. So good that you guys won it, and I hope you make the team this year at the World Juniors because you deserve that. And that's kind of like the same kind of crew going forward, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of the guys that I had played in U17, Helenka, and under 18s. Like, we're all got invited there, so we all played with each other. We all know how each other plays. So I think that's a big advantage that we would have if all of us were to make that team. It'd be like playing with guys you've grown up playing with. Just that chemistry would already be built, and I think that would give us a big advantage.
One of those guys would be Bowen Byram.
Yeah, that's he's quite the player.
Must be nice having him in front of you, eh?
Yeah, for the couple times that I have, but he's usually on the other end of the ice, so it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah, he's a good Vancouver kid playing out here with the Giants, so we follow him pretty well.
Yeah, he's for my own sake, selfishly, I hope that he's in the NHL, so I don't have to face him.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest kids in the world, and I mean, I wish him best of luck, and I think he's got a huge future, and so do you. I mean, that's the reason we asked you to be here on our podcast today, because we've followed you through your dub career, and now you're going to be on the World Junior team, I feel, and you're going to make Canada proud, man, and you're also going to get drafted here pretty high, and we hope you have the best of future you can.
And definitely, because our podcast is called I Only Touch Greatness, we wanted to have a kid like you on our podcast, so you're going to touch greatness one day, and I want to have you early on your podcast.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hey, we're not done yet. Do you have a favorite song to listen to before the game?
That's a tough one. I don't really have a specific one. I do enjoy listening to AC/DC before the game. That one they always get me fired up.
Little TNT or Thunderstruck or?
Hell's Bells.
Okay.
Bells, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of me and one of the guys on my team. We have kind of a ritual where we listen to that right before we get dressed, and in the room it's just me and him, and we put on a performance in there.
I was always Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not too picky about that kind of stuff.
On your Cougars team, is there one guy that's kind of like the pump-up guy, the wild one? You know what I'm trying to say?
That might be me.
Okay.
That's the perfect guy to have on here.
I run the music, and I'm kind of the guy that's kind of out there all the time. I don't take myself too seriously in the room, and it's either probably me or Jack Sander. Me and him are pretty similar personality-wise, and that's the guy that I do Hell's Bells with as well. So
Okay. And I know you're going to get drafted this year, but have a lot of teams been calling you?
There's been interest. I got 5 or 6 teams that have been kind of talking to myself and my agent pretty regularly now. So I'm hoping that at this point I don't even know when the draft's going to be. So
True story.
It's just kind of a waiting game at this point. I've done all the things I can, and I'm just enjoying life right now, not putting too much pressure on myself.
Obviously, being drafted to any team would be great. Is there one team that you secretly like, or like a favorite franchise?
I would have to go with Montreal, just based off of all the history in that organization, and growing up a diehard Montreal fan. That would be pretty special for myself and my family. My family's from the East Coast, they're out from Prince Edward Island, so although the majority of them are Montreal fans, so that'd be pretty nice to have a little feather in my cap.
If that didn't happen, we'd love to have you in Vancouver.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'm not picky at all, so whatever I can get.
Hey, being a goalie, what do you think makes a captain ahead of you?
I think just being able to kind of make sure everyone trusts them, and just at the end of the day, they're leading by example. I know that's something that I've always tried to do. I'm in a totally different game. I'm kind of in a game within itself. But anything that I can do to kind of calm down the guys in front of me and make them play more confident is, I think that's kind of the whole goal of what a captain should do.
When you're playing games, Mike hates this question. when you're playing games, who do you wish is watching you in the stands?
I hope everyone is.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the spotlight. I like making those big saves. I like everything that has to do with the environment of the rink. I love the being at home when all the people get on their feet and start cheering. I love being on the road, saving one that should have went in, and just kind of the air getting sucked out of the whole arena. I think that's such an adrenaline rush that not many people get to experience.
Obviously, other than you guys, I feel like you guys have the best 2 goalie combo other than Vancouver. I mean, it must be nice always working with Brendan as well, right?
Yeah, it goes to show how good of our scouting is up in Prince George, with myself and Brennan coming in, 2 first-round picks. He's got a super bright future. I don't have enough good things to say about him. He's just an unbelievable person, unbelievable goaltender, and I hope that he goes just as far, if not further, than I do.
Yeah, he seems like a good kid, and he seems like you guys have a good combo together. We have him coming on next week. We tried to get him on today with you, but he was busy as well tonight, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you so much, Taylor, man. Like, we're huge fans of you, and you taking your time today meant a lot to us. We appreciate it.
And we're going to be a big fan from here on out the rest of your career. So we want to thank you for coming on with Mini Don Cherry and Big Mike.
We wish you best of luck in your future, man. You're going far.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Hey, now this is off the air. I'm going to stop that interview right there. being that you're going to the pros and everything, could you give us a shout out, please?
Any chance you can just like introduce yourself? Just, Taylor Gauthier from Prince George Cougars, and maybe just say, I was just on the podcast, I only touch greatness, something like that?
Something I can use one day down the road?
Yeah. Do you want to just say it right now, or?
Sure. Yeah, we'll just edit it out anyway, so yeah, it's all good.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Taylor Gauthier from the Prince George Cougars. Just got off the podcast. I only touch greatness. A couple great guys out there, and make sure you guys give it a listen.
There you go. Good Canadian kid. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks, Taylor.
Woo! Woo!